Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Kakodash. Shalom to the 144,000 rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, The Apostle Paul Spoke the Words to the Romans. Or you can say wrote the words to the Romans. All the epistles, like the book of Romans, it was written by the Apostle Paul, but he had scribes. You know, you have companies that you have the boss, and he writes a letter to somebody. Now, what normally happens is he'll have his secretary dictate. He'll dictate to the secretary, and she'll type, or he'll type it out, and then what the secretary will do is go over it, and if there's anything that should be taken out or added, or the grammar is not right, it's up to the secretary that worked for this, owner of this business to get it right. So if you get a letter from such and such CEO of such and such a company, it doesn't mean that he sat down and typed it up. But it's his letter. And when the letter's complete, yours truly, CEO of XYZ company, John Smith. It'll be typed out, and then that's the form of the letter. The substance of the letter is when he puts his name on it. That's what makes it an official letter, when he signs his. Anytime you write a letter to whatever, you always say yours truly, John Smith, typed out, and then you would put your signature there, which is your signet. So Paul did the epistles of Paul that went to Romans and all the other churches were Paul's writings. Now, you had people that he dictated to. It says, let me do this. Let me open up another. Let me go back to the and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Okay, 2 Timothy 4. Coming up in a minute. Let me go right to the source, to the point. Okay, this is Paul was sentenced to death by the Roman government for the term is sedition, which means you say things to rile people up to riot. You can say certain things, and people go, "Yeah, we're gonna kill these motherfuckers," and then they'll arrest you for sedition. You say, "I never did nothing. I didn't have no gun in my hand, no hammer. I wasn't there." He said, "Yeah, but you are charged with sedition. Look the word up. I went through it before." It said, "I have fought a good fight," and this fight was a spiritual fight, by the way. "I have finished my course," just like Yahweh Shai finished his course. "I have kept the faith." He didn't fall off. He didn't turn his back. He didn't take a break. "Henceforth there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which now the word there is Kairos. Let me prove that. What do you mean Kairos? The word's being Yahweh. No, the word is Kairos. Kairos. Let me see. Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. And I hope you're taking notes, Bishop Nathaniel, because you're going into the hub, the Bible hub. He did it this weekend. Let's go to the Bible hub. Where do you think he got that from? He got that from myself and the other apostles. Wait a minute. So now, I made a statement. Let me see something. Here layeth a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, does it say Yahweh? Does it say Yahweh Shai? Hamashiach? No. The word is Kyrios. Kyrios. Like this dude that played for the Nets, Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving. He said when them small hats got to him, he should have had Israelites backing his ass up. He said, yeah, I saw the movie From Dollars to Donuts. It might as well be called that. From Hebrews to Negroes. With this guy, Ron Dalton. Which Ron Dalton, he just knows he's an Israelite. He's not a prophet. He's not a representative of the Most High. He's just a guy that stumbled on, because he came out in 2011. So we've been teaching this Hebrew Israelite things on YouTube since 2007, and let me add this: Bishop Nathaniel was on YouTube in 2006, and he had a he would give you a 10-minute video, then lead you to a site to buy breakdowns, and he was like it was like a skeleton. What do you call that? Skeleton crew, whatever. A ragtag crew he had. He didn't have no beautiful garments. And I believe it was around 2010 when they started getting the because he had a PR firm. You can tell me I'm wrong. I don't have all the information. But he hired a PR firm to get that, like a president. Nobody knew Jimmy Carter. Once he became president, everybody knew him. The same thing with Clinton. Nobody knew Clinton. And all of a sudden, this guy was the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's a PR firm. The same thing with Barack Obama. Barack Obama was kicked out of I believe it was the 2004 Democratic Convention. I believe it was in Chicago. They said, who the hell are you? Get the fuck out of here. Nigga, what you doing up in here? 2005, 2006, 2007. Everybody knew. Everybody, like I said, nobody. Who the hell is the Barack Obama in 2004, 2003? All of a sudden, that's a PR firm. They book you for certain TV shows, news, this, and then they show your family. They keep doing it in your face and make you look like a good guy. Okay, that's what this guy did. Bishop Nate. Now you can tell me I'm wrong, and I say, okay, I'm wrong. But the word Lord, capital L, lowercase R-O-D, in the New Testament, the word there is Kairos, which just means superior, someone that's over you. A lieutenant is over a sergeant. A major, a general is over a major, and a lieutenant, and a sergeant. Let me see. Right, sir. Sir, by the way, is short for superior. So when you say to an officer, a cop, a police officer, you say, that's the first thing I do. I said, how you doing, officer? How's your day? And that calms him right down, right? And then he immediately says, this never fails. He said, I'm doing all right, sir. Now, when he says, sir, he's saying that you're the superior. He's saying, I'm doing good, sir. I said, did I do anything wrong? I'll tell you in a minute. And I'll have my license, my everything ready. And he'll even say, no, just give me a license. Because then he comes back, he'll say, well, see, you rode through that stop sign. Technically, I could have given you a ticket, but everything checks out. you ain't got nothing on your record. Your license is good, and you have a nice day, sir. And I'll say, you too, officer. You have a nice day. All right, enjoy the rest of the day. And then the cop, hey, there's certain cops I had conversations with. I got pulled over by this one cop, and we just started having a conversation. But he said, I got to give you the ticket. He said, but I'm going to tell you how to beat it. These are Edomite cops. These are Edomite cops. I'm going into something else. But Edomite cops will tell you, cool with them Edomite cops? They'll tell you how to beat. They'll say, I'm going to show you how to beat this ticket. He said, don't worry. It's going to be a year and change before you go in there. And I guarantee you I'm not going to show up. So they're hoping that you just pay the ticket. Don't pay the ticket. Just go in there, be in there for about 45 minutes, and they're gonna throw the whole case out because I never show up. I said, thank you, officer. So that's how you got to be. Look, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I'm a king over you, nigga. Now the cops that do give me a hard time are Israelites. Jake cops, Ephraimite cops. I don't remember ever getting a hard time from the Edomite. I got mad at Edomite, cursed cops out, but said officer. I said, look, officer, I raise my voice, which I don't always do, but I'll say officer. And then he'll argue back and he'll say, sir. And then I'll tell him, I said, look, I'm going to beat this. I'm going to beat this. Watch. And then we'll see. And I wound up beating it, right? Anyway, it says, he to whom please forgive me for my rant. He to whom a person or thing belongs about which he has power of deciding, master lord, meaning superior, the owner, right. The owner of a house that you live in, he's the landlord. So the word will be Kairos. In the state, the sovereign, prince, chief, the Roman emperor, he would be considered a lord, is a title of honor expressive of respect and reverence with which servants greet their master or their superior. This title was given to God the Messiah. Yeah, because Paul was saying my superior. All right? If he would say Lord Yahweh, Lord Jesus Christ or whatever, he would be saying my superior and give the name. All right? So let me come back again. I wanted to make this short, but so that I have kept the faith. Henceforth there's a crown waiting on righteousness, judge they only but unto all them who love his appearance. Also who love his appearance, meaning people like me. If I'm constantly out there on the highways and the byways, I'm constantly doing videos, I'm constantly teaching, the one that I'm going to be saved. The Most High promise, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua promised me I'm going to be saved if I keep the faith up, if I don't turn my back on the plow. And he says, and those also who love his appearance, meaning people like me, people that constantly doing videos out there on the highways and the byways. It says, personal concerns. Do thy diligence to come shortly unto me, for Demas, one of his disciples, have forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica, Crescens to Galatia, Titus unto Dalmatia. By the way, a dog, that spotted white and black dog is called a Dalmatian because it came out of a place called Dalmatia, which is like Montenegro in Europe. Where the Servians, remember you had the war with the Servians. That Dalmatia is there. That's in the region where Paul was his journeys. It said, only Luke is with me. Take Mark and bring him with thee, for he is profitable to me for the ministry. What does it mean he is profitable to me to the ministry? They put the letters together. Sometimes they wrote letters. Sometimes the Apostle Paul dictated to him, and he gave the paper over and he signed it over, or put his signet. and Tychicus have I sent to Ephesus. So when Paul sent, he said, you're going to go over there, you're going to go over there. And they would go in the name of their superior, which is Paul. It says, the cloak that I left at Troas with Carpus, when thou comest, bring with thee and the books, but especially the parchment. What are the parchments? They're papers. So they had papers with them because they were writing certain things. So Paul said, okay, say this, that, the third, give me the paper, let me put my signet, okay, send it out. Let me look up the word parchments. Your modern day parchment is a paper. Okay, let me go to parchment. So when that snake in the grass, that fox in the hole, Geno Jennings, he's a slick Mac daddy. He said, wait a minute. Paul didn't write the books of Romans. He didn't write it. Give me that. And that's his brother reading for him. Tertullius. See, Paul, if the dude knew, he would say, those are Paul's writing. The words that came out of Paul's mouth was coming out of the words in the book of Romans were coming out of Paul's mouth, but this guy was dictating to this guy. And I'm going to prove that. So y'all got to be ready, man. All right. So what's the word here? Okay. Parchment, made first of dressed skins at Pergamos, hence its name. It came out of Pergamos, but it doesn't tell you what a parchment is. A parchment is okay, wait a minute. Okay, membra, Latin, membrane, a written sheepskin parchment. In other words, they didn't have papers. You couldn't go to Staples and buy a pack of papers. They had parchment, which was clean, and you wrote on it, and they scrolled it out, and they put a signet on it. You know, parchment first made of dress skins at Pergamum, hence its name. This is something that they wrote on. That's why he said, make sure you bring the parchment. Because they were writing, Apostle Paul was dictating to them. So the words in the book of Romans, from chapter 1 to the last chapter, are Paul's words. So now let's come over here. Let's go to Romans. He went to Romans 16, right? I believe it's Romans 16:22. Let me double check that. Romans 16:22. Now the elder out of South Kakalaki, he did this video, so I was watching it, and I said, well, let me add to. I don't have to add to it because he explained it perfectly. But you know me, you know. So let me see, Romans. Okay, Romans 16, verse 22. I Tertius, who wrote this epistle, salute you in the Lord. In other words, he put pen to paper, so to speak. It didn't mean that wasn't his words. Okay, and all these people All these people were Israelites that had like Greek and Latin names. And Paul never said, okay, that's a cool name. You got to change your name over to a Hebrew name. Using hillbilly Hebrew, like Nate says, you has a cool name. But Yahweh Shai got to keep that cool name. Let me see. Yeah, these were all like if you read the whole chapter, he gives you a list of names. And each chapter is a different set of writings. It's a different letter. You had some chapters that ran from one chapter of a scripture to the next chapter, but then sometimes the third chapter would be a whole nother spirit. So Paul was writing a lot of letters, so he couldn't be sitting down writing letters here and there. He had people write his letters for him, and he dictated to them. And sometimes he went to them places, and sometimes he sent letters to them. So it wasn't. Let me come back over here. It was not the words of 22. Right, it says, Timothy, my work fellow, and Lucius, and Jason, and Sosipater, which are Greek names, my kinsmen salute you. I, Tertius, who wrote this epistle, salute you in the Lord. So, was it his words that came out? Was it words that came out of? No, he was writing. He was writing in behalf of Paul. That's why he said, and especially the parchments, bring the paperwork, so I can write more letters or dictate to you more letters. Now to him that has the power establish you in the corner of Jesus. Because if you go to Google and you put in, let me see if I put it in there. Okay, I put in who wrote the book of Romans. The Apostle Paul wrote the book of Romans, also known as the Epistle to the Romans. So wait a minute. He wrote, writing the book doesn't mean that he put pen to paper, so to speak. The letter was written from Corinth, Greece, to the church in Rome, or the Israelites in Rome, as a way to provide guidance. So it wasn't this individual, Tertius, that actually that was not his words. He just wrote. He was dictated to. Encouragement and direction to the community of believers. So, do we have to go and write epistles? No, we do videos. So when you watch a video, it's an epistle. I'm writing you an epistle right now. Now sometimes I might be in my car driving, and I'll call Apostle Ramlab, and I'll say, do a video on this subject right here, because I'm in the car right now. And he'll do the video, but it's my words. I said, tell him this, that, and the third. And this happened. And Apostle Ramlab will do the video, and he'll say, well, this is from Tahar. Tahar's, relayed this to me. So it's Apostle Ramlab actually doing the video, but he's speaking my words. So whose video is that? It's Tahar's video. Yeah, but I heard what you call the voice. Yeah, but it's my words. This is what you don't understand. So now, let me let you listen. Yeah, this guy's an old snake in the grass. He a real character. And now see, what happened was he didn't want to go up against the IUIC because they were going back and forth. Now when Bishop Nathaniel, I'm gonna say something good about Bishop Nathaniel. Then I'm gonna say something bad about him. He went up there trying to have a thing sit down with Geno Jennings, and the reason why they sent 1,000 men, 2,000 men, which is really intimidation. The scriptures say, "Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves." You know, be as sheep in the midst of wolves. If you see sheep walking around, he'll say, "Wait a minute, there's sheep out there. Let's go ahead and greet these sheep." You're not going to be intimidated. But if you actually see wolves, you're going to call the authorities, man. There's about 2,000 wolves surrounding my damn church. What's going on? So you ain't supposed to come up. That was an intimidation move. With the IUIC, was that marching thing is an intimidation thing. Because when they got into the scuffle, which they're going off, when they got into the scuffle, well, wait a minute, see, you jealous. You jealous. First of all, I'm talking to Al-Azhar. First of all, if you go back, when you first came in, what was I doing with IUIC? Wasn't we doing videos every week back and forth with them when they were a skeleton crew? So come on, man. I kept the same energy that I had 10 years ago, that I had 14 years ago. You just jealous. And the same thing with Comfy. When we found out Comfy was sold out and he calls out the Comforter, we were doing videos on every week. We were going back and forth with the 1941 Madison. We were going back and forth with them. The same thing with the ISUPK. The same thing with you. Remember? Anytime you did a video, I would do a counter video. Does that mean I'm jealous of you? When you were relatively small? So what the hell are you talking about, man? And if anything, you should be rebuking the hell out of IUIC. Why ain't you rebuking? If you're a defender of the gospel, you're supposed to be rebuking them guys. You're supposed to say, well, you know what? Apostle Tahar and the GMS, they're correct. You guys are going off. Let's say all the different camps said that IUIC, you guys are going off. The MOTB is a micro C-hip. Then they might start considering it. And other people might say, well, wait a minute, all these other camps are saying that the MOTB, you know, and we're going to see what's going to happen when it comes out. I'm going off again. I'm a little excited. But let me just let you hear this madness. And this guy is not ready. He probably saw 3 videos. He said, I'm going to go up against Geno Jennings. Geno Jennings let you in there because he knew he was going to make you look like a jackass. But anyway, going back to IUIC marching, which was clearly wrong. That was an intimidation move. Oh, like I said, when they got into the scuffle with the ISUPK, the next couple of days they went to that same spot and they had about 1,000 men marching. That was clearly an intimidation move. And then what happened about a week or 2 after that? One of the IUIC members was out there teaching and got shot in the leg 2 times. And then you had a guy from the ISUPK riding around your school in a rental car. Because instead of you, hey, what you should have did, first of all, if you guys were out there in the camp before the ISUPK, and that's your camp that you always go to, and they never been there, and they roll up, they're in the wrong. They're in the wrong. Because that's sparking, you know, hate and anger. But what you're supposed to do, this Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, and not too many words, why not be defrauded? Read that in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. Why not take the low, so to speak? Even if it's they're the bad guy, you say, no, I'll go. No, I'll go. Give me a second. I had the alarm go off, so I had to turn it off. Okay, let me just go ahead and play it. So this is Reed Geno Jennings Schools, a Hebrew Israelite, Pauline epistles. An epistle means letter. Paul wrote most of those letters, which is right. Paul wrote all of the letters of Paul, but he dictated to certain people to write them.
Letters.
That is not true, but keep going.
That is true.
No, it's not, brother.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Paul wrote most of those letters.
That is not true, but keep going.
That is true.
Now he said most of those letters, which was right. He wrote all of them, but he physically didn't write all of those letters. Those were his letters, but he had helpers that he dictated to. You know, like Romans 16, Romans 1, Romans 2, whatever. Those are all Paul. That's all Paul right there. But the person that put pen to paper or quill to parchment was this particular individual.
True.
No, it's not, brother. No, it's
You
not.
telling me that Paul didn't write the letters? Paul didn't write letters.
He wrote some.
Paul wrote most of the letters in the New Testament.
Okay, and he's right. He wrote some, meaning physically right. But the words in the book of Romans and the various epistles are all Paul's words. He dictated to somebody else. I gave you an example. I'm in a car. I can't do a video. Something come up. And I called Apostle Rama. I said, do me a favor. Do a video on this subject and explain this, that, and the third. Is that Apostle Ryan Lob's video? Yes, it is that he put it together, but he did it for me. And he might say it. He said, well, I did this because Todd asked me to do a video explaining this breaking news. So whose words is it? My words. Whose mouth did it come out of? Apostle Ryan Lob.
All right, now.
Is that not true?
Let me help you out.
No, is that not true, though?
No, it's not.
And first of all, this guy is off because he got this long hair, which if I don't know if he believe. Well, he's speaking about Paul. So right there, I cut him. I said, first of all, brother, are you a man or a woman? Why you at? You know, I said, are you a man or a woman? I'm just asking you a question. I'm a man. I said, okay, so you believe in the Lord. You believe in the Israelites. You follow Paul's doctrine and so forth, or writings and such. I said, why do you have long hair? And then when you show them the scripture, they'll make a bunch of excuses. Like we get on the IUIC. They got guys with long hair, braids. He got half of it is braid, the other half is an afro. And they know they're going off. But if you wear a hat in front of them, brother, why you got your hat on? Get me 1 Corinthians chapter 11, I believe it's verse 3. So these guys are hypocrites, man. Why you think we get on them so much? Give me a second. Anyway, let's go. Let's move on.
Oh,
No.
wow, really?
Really?
So why does it say that Romans was written by Paul?
Romans chapter 6. Let me correct you. Show you that Paul didn't even write the book of Romans, but then I'm going to go back to show you.
Did you hear what this clown said? I'm going to show you that Paul didn't write the book of Romans. Now, if you want to get technical, in the case of Romans 16 and 22, he didn't actually put pen to paper, so to speak. But those were his words. That's what this guy should have said. Another thing this guy's going off is that when you speak, you're supposed to have two or out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, right? So you're supposed to have a reader with you, another brother back up. Because if I miss something, and it's possible I can, somebody will say, well, Tahar, I got a precept to back up what he's saying. I'm going to show you that he's going off. Because you ain't thinking like that. That's the importance of having 2 or 3 witnesses.
that the New Testament is correct. Let me educate you. Paul did not write the book of Romans. Let me show you who wrote it, and then we're going to get the 22nd chapter of the book of Psalms.
And Paul did write some of the books. And Paul had scribes, you know, he had, like I said, he had scribes write some of the book. That's why he said, don't forget to bring the parchment, because they were writing the letters, and he was putting his signet. This is Paul's words.
I want to take you to school, all right? Listen.
Romans chapter 16 and verse 22.
Follow me.
I, Tertullius, who wrote this epistle, salute you in the Lord.
Salute you in the Lord. No, Paul did not write the book of Romans.
But he dictated the book of Romans. It was Paul's words. And I would have came back and said, okay, was it Paul's words? Was it Paul's words? Now, he would have had to say, yes, it was Paul's words. I say, so now you're playing a game of semantics.
One that wrote the book of Romans was a man named Tertullius.
Historical facts are true, right?
Not always. Historical facts.
I said historical facts are true, right?
That depends.
How does it depend?
You know why?
What?
Because it can be a fact to a man, but not facts to God.
Okay, let me put it like this.
Would you agree? The reason why I said that, does not man say according to historical facts that we come from apes, and you know we ain't come from no ape. Okay. So that's the historical fact.
Well, no, that's not an historical fact, because they didn't prove it. They say it's a theory. It's not a fact. So you going off. Anyway, let me let it play a little bit more.
Man, that is not a historical fact to God.
Okay. All right, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, coming back at you with another video. This one is going to be entitled Response, Geno Jennings Schools a Hebrew Israelite. Yep. Response, Geno Jennings Schools a Hebrew Israelite. So in this video, in the beginning, you saw a clip that I got. Basically, I got it off of TikTok, where this guy who's supposed to be a Hebrew Israelite is trying to have a debate with Geno Jennings, and he basically got embarrassed. Now, one thing I want you to notice with Jake, bear with me here, you can tell he don't.
And like I said, if I was this individual, I would have said, the writings of Paul, were those Paul's words? Did those words come out of his mouth? Was he conveying a message? And he would have had to say yes. So he's trying to get, he's trying to, if you want to get super technical, he didn't put pen to paper, like I said. Now, let's go to the Bible Hub, as Bishop Nate would say. Let's go to the Bible Hub. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, let me see. Where can I go? Well, let's go to here. Myers, NT New Testament Commentary, Romans 16:22. Tertius, probably an Italian. Now remember, this was in Romans 16, where he went among a congregation of people that converted, that came into this fold. All of them, he gave a list. All of them had Greco-Roman names. It says one of them was even named Herod, which was an Israelite. So you had Israelites named Herod, which means heroic. Italian, probably an Italian, meaning an Israelite from Italy, with whom the readers were acquainted. Right, the readers of the letter knew this guy. Oh, we know this guy. Oh, he's one of the guys that scribed the words of Paul. Was at the time with Paul in Corinth, and wrote the letter, which the apostle dictated to him. So whose writings is it? It's Paul's sayings that were committed to paper by this particular man. And he had other men he dictated to. Go back to 2 Timothy chapter 4. The view that he made a fair copy of the apostolic draught is the most is the more groundless, since Paul was wont to dictate his epistle. What is the word to dictate? I speak, you write down, give me the paper, I'll put my signet, and now you can send it out. It says first, I'm gonna give you some examples. 1 Corinthians 16 and 2. See, this is why Bishop Nathaniel, get me the Bible Hub, cause he be watching our videos. Like he said, I watch all the other. See, Bible Hub. He did it Saturday. Get me the Bible Hub. Cause Bishop Nathaniel are fans of GMS. So they might talk shit about GMS, but he's a big fan of GMS. Okay, let me see. And how you know if them Bishop Nathaniel didn't come across it on his own? Because if you go back years, we always been dealing with the commentary. We always been dealing with the Bible Hub. He just recently started doing it, maybe a year or two ago. I don't know. Then he'll go to the dictionary. Don't give me the dictionary. Go to Google. It says 1 Corinthians, but he won't go to the blue letter. He will not go to the blue. I'll say it in Geno Jennings. He will not go to the blue letter. And there's a reason why he would not go to the blue letter, because he would have to acknowledge that that the word is in the Hebrew and the word is in the Greek, because he don't want the people to know that to get a better understanding, you got to go into the Hebrew and the Greek. So it says 1 Corinthians 16 verse 21. Let's see if it comes up. It says, the salutation of me, Paul, with my own hand. So some of the letters he wrote, others, there were so many letters that Paul wrote, he needed guys to write. He needed to dictate to him. But they were his words. The book of Romans were Paul's words. Galatians 6 verse 11. You see how large a letter I have written to you with my own hand. So some of the letters he wrote, others he dictated to. Colossians 4 verse 16. And when this letter is read among you, right? This is Colossians, right? Coloss. And when this letter is read among you, cause that it be read also in the church of Laodicea. In other words, read this letter to the people of Colossus. Okay, okay, close up there. You got the letter? Okay, we're going to take the letter of Paul to Laodicea. So they're going to go to this is the church of Laodicea. Okay, read the letter. And they would sit down and listen as the reader would read the letter. And that you likewise read the letter from Laodicea. So Paul wrote letters or epistles, or he had people write them, and he put his signet to it, and he said, okay, send it out to this church. Okay, then close the letter up, and then go to that church, because there's places that he sent people out to do his bidding, and which is the Most High's bidding, Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua's bidding. It says, the salutation of Paul, which my own hand, which is the token in every letter, so I write. And as we know, there were certain letters that he actually didn't write. It says in his own hands, Tertius writes his greeting, for it was very natural that when he called the apostles' attention to his personal wish to send a greeting, his own greeting, which Grotius and Laurent, without sufficient ground, relegate to the margin, would not be dictated by the apostle, but left to himself to express. So sometimes they added extra words. Oh, by the way, I'm the one that scribed this letter. I'm the one that Paul dictated to me to put this letter together. But it's Paul's words. Romans 1, Romans 2, Romans 3, Romans 4 are all Paul's words, whether he put pen to paper or not. I don't got to read the rest of this. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. So you got to watch these foxes and holes. Shalom.